Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Robert, uh, coming to you from Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Um, First thing that I want to say to everybody who is watching, the support and the love that you've given to me while standing on the side of 119, wishing everybody peace and love, means the world to me. I can't thank you enough for the support and the love that you have essentially given to a total stranger, because the vast majority of you have absolutely no idea who I am, what I'm about, or um, the actual mission that I'm on. But you've embraced the message, and that to me is more valuable than gold. So I want to start by saying thank you. Um, the purpose of today's video is I really want to talk to those of you specifically that struggle with mental illness, that suffer with depression, anxiety, all those terms. And I want to talk to you as somebody who deals with depression and anxiety on a daily basis. This COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, has really impacted us very quickly. And people who have depression, have anxiety, that kind of change that happens that fast is really hard to take. It's really hard to absorb the message, especially when you're getting conflicting messages. And then all you're hearing about is you can't go here and you can't go there and you can't be close to this person, you can't be close to that person, and you got to have antibacterial this, and you got to have sanitizer that, and bleach, and social distancing, and you're like your head's spinning, because it's like 90 miles an hour. And people who have depression, who are currently on a stay-at-home order, which sadly is coming for all of us. Okay, as somebody who suffers with depression, it's a bitch. For lack of better words, or to just be real, it's a bitch. And it's hard enough on a daily basis when everything is all peachy keen in the world. But when the tension and anxiety and emotion gets to the level that it currently is, our triggers, just everything just kind of likes to trigger. And it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I do. And maybe it will help you. Maybe it won't. Maybe, I don't know. So, I hate to read. So, reading is not an option for me. Reading bores the hell out of me, no matter what it is. I've tried to read just about anything. It doesn't work for me. However, I journal a lot, because it's my journal. I can write in it whatever I want, and I usually do. I have recently, well, off and on, but recently did more so. I actually do old-fashioned pen paling with people, and it helps them, it helps me. Like, we just send letters back and forth through the mail like they used to do back in the day. Walking is important. I know that a lot of people are afraid to go outside, but I really wish that people would understand how you get the coronavirus. this comes through contact with people or objects, which is why you should wash your hands. And this is something that we should have been doing, and not something that should be a new discovery, which somehow has become like a new thing. Don't forget to wash your hands. But it's hard when you feel that you're in a mental prison, and your mental prison is now coming face to face with almost a physical prison, because now you're limited on where you can go, depending on whether you are essential or non-essential, which, by the way, is another way of division. Watch my other videos about division if you want to hear more about division. Depression is not a joke. It's not funny. It's hard, especially when you live with it every day. And now, being in a position where you feel confined to your house, these are the moments where you got to dig down deep, and you got to really think about all of the skills that you have learned. And you got to find a friend that, if your social interaction is limited and there's no one for you to talk to, like face to face, like you got to find somebody that you trust. FaceTime them. There's a feature through Messenger on Facebook that you can video chat with somebody. At least then it gives your mind an opportunity to see a friendly face and have a conversation. I do not get any sense of interaction through a text message. I don't get any sort of interaction through an email. For me, it either has to be voice communication, or it has to be a face-to-face, especially if I feel my anxiety, getting out of control, which it does. So then you do things like stand on the side of 119 with a sign wishing you all peace and love, because I would rather stand out there and wish every single stranger in Fayette County or beyond peace and love than to sit in my apartment and stare at the wall. That doesn't work for me. Because even when I'm depressed, I feel better by doing for someone else. So you could call a personal care home, you could call a rehab center, you could call a senior living place where you've got hundreds of geriatric people who can't interact with anybody, and send them letters. Like, there's so many simple acts of kindness that you can do that, believe it or not, will truly alleviate some of your depression. Breathing is very important. You got to breathe. You got to learn how to breathe. You got to learn how to shut your television off. You got to, I know right now we cannot escape the coronavirus. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, corona, 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 corona. Shut off the TV. Shut off the TV. Put some music on and breathe. Just shut your eyes. Allow yourself to get into a good space. Collect yourself. And limit how much you watch the news. Because, and the reason I say that is because right now, well, I don't believe that the news is ever healthy. Okay? Because there is a lot of good things that happen in the world that do not end up on that TV. All 95% of what you see on the television is bad. It looks bad. It sounds bad. It feels bad. All of it does. And somebody out there needs to say, okay, yes, we have a very serious threat that is making its way across the world. However, remain calm. There's nothing we as the common folk, there's not a whole lot we can do except for what they tell us, which is stay home. Okay, so we stay home. But those of us who have issues, it's hard for us to stay at home. It's not because we don't care about the rules. It's not that we don't think that the coronavirus is serious. It's because mentally we cannot sit in our apartments, in our homes, by ourselves and stare at the wall. Or sit in our homes and watch this godforsaken message that's all over the news. People can't do that and remain calm and sane. However, there are ways to combat it. Like I said, you've got people that are stuck for real, like in senior care or hospitals or whatever. Like, just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, like, how many people do you got? Like, or give me a couple names of people that like you feel like are feeling the loneliest. Well, just write them a letter. Just say, hey, wishing you well. How are you? Who are you? Like the what that simple gesture will do for them. When you get a letter in return, you're going to experience a I want to say almost like I can't ever say that word. Euphoric. That's like when I was a kid, I couldn't say extracurricular. Euphoric. That's what it is. Euphoric. You almost get like this euphoric moment where you see what your kind gesture did to someone else. And believe it or not, that is the type of thing that can help fight depression. The question is, how do you make yourself do it? Well, you make yourself do it by issuing yourself a challenge. But you don't overreach, because this is the problem that the majority of us have, is that when we set a goal for ourselves, like I'm gonna be hypothetical. So I want to lose 75 pounds. Okay? I want to lose 75 pounds. My brain is like, all right, you're gonna go walk every day, you're gonna watch what you eat, like you're gonna have this done in no time. Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. Everybody laughs about the movie What About Bob? Okay? And if you've never seen the movie What About Bob, I highly recommend that you watch the movie What About Bob, because even though it's done in a comical way, because that's Bill Murray's style, the message of the movie is very, very real. Baby steps. Okay? So you challenge yourself, okay, today I don't feel good today, I'm depressed. Today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the phone call. Or I'm just going to look up the places that are around me. Okay. You make a little list. This is what you did today. All right. You accomplished this little part. Maybe the next day or the day after, you call one of those places and get, a number or a couple names, whatever. Then the next day, maybe you write one of the letters, then you write another letter, then you write another letter. Like you can break it down so that it's not like this big crazy, I got to do all this, and then make your mind explode even more because you've just now added all these additional layers on top of your brain. Breathe. do your best to stay calm. Yes, this is a horrible thing that's going on in the world. But as I've stated in other videos, my belief is we cannot individually fight this. The solution to this entire problem is us coming together as the human beings, the human race that we are. Our species has got to work together to come up with solutions. We cannot just sit back and be like, oh, well, the doctors will take care of this. Or some people who's way above our pay grades, they'll take care of this. We got to support each other. We got to help each other. We need each other. We've always needed each other. But now in this dark time, it's almost like it feels like when I look outside, especially when it gets cloudy, like it is right now, it like feels like a modern dark ages, where, you know, they live in fear on a daily basis. And so many people I see driving and they got masks on while they're driving, and I can see their blue gloves and their yellow gloves on their hands. And which, by the way, small tangent in the middle of this, if you're going to wear your masks, if you're going to wear your rubber gloves, your latex gloves, whatever, how about you not throw them on the ground so that nature cleans up after you? Like, seriously, you're doing what you can to not spread whatever, but then you're throwing your shit on the ground so that somebody else got to pick it up and throw it away. Seriously, how about some common sense? You know, keep a baggie in your car, because I'm sure that the large majority of you have a garbage can in your car, because like everybody gets garbage in their car. Throw it in the garbage can. Don't rely on the essential employees that are out there risking their lives to make sure that there's stuff open for us. Don't give them more work to do. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I've been seeing pictures and videos on Facebook all day about that, and that is so not cool. I get that you want to protect yourself, but now you put somebody else at risk by throwing your garbage, your germs from your hands and your mouth on the ground for somebody else to pick up. Not cool. Doesn't help the environment, doesn't help the cause, and, you know, you further exacerbate the whole idea of stay at home. Because if that's what you're going to do, then stay at home. Like, have somebody else go get your stuff. Don't litter your germs for other people to clean it up. Anyway, so to those of you with depression who are struggling now, we've been dealing with this for a little while now. Hang in there. If you need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to vent to, hit me up on Facebook. If we're friends on Facebook, if you just need to blow off some steam, I do believe that walking outside is still considered essential. So with the Planet Fitness being closed, you know, I have places that I go walk. You know, if you just need to get out, but you don't want to do it alone, hit me up. But hang in there. Hang in there. I know that it's a tough time, and I know that the tough times are ahead, and this is going to last a while. But keep fighting the good fight. Don't give up. Do your best. Preoccupy yourself. Find something to do. If it's crossword puzzles, I download games on your phone, like, what is that, Words with Friends, and find somebody that you can play games with, like somebody that you can interact with, especially when you're feeling when you're in that place and it's dark and it's cloudy just like it is outside, but it's all in your head. Don't give in to the depression. I know that it's easier said than done because I'm dealing with the same thing. Keep your head up. Do your best. You need anything, you leave me a comment. I probably have like 4 bottles of antibacterial soap left, so if anybody needs that, please let me know. I think I have like 2 extra rolls of toilet paper, if anybody needs that. But if you just need an ear, don't hesitate. Coronavirus is not the only thing that's going to be affecting people. Depression, it doesn't give a shit if there's a coronavirus. It doesn't care what your gender is. It doesn't care what your age is. It doesn't care what your race is, what your religious belief is. Mental illness doesn't give a shit that there's other stuff going on. When it comes around, it comes around. And it don't matter. None of the divisions matter when it comes to mental illness. But from one diagnosed depressed anxiety person to the next, I wish you peace and love. I wish you positive thoughts. I will send out positive thoughts and energy every single day for you. Those of you that are fighting other illnesses, positive thoughts. Tomorrow I will do one on other factors. I really wanted to address depression today. Hang in there. Do your best. You need something. I don't care if it's just an ear. You need a positive message. You need something. I'm here. So I hope that you all have a wonderful evening and that this message is somewhat meaningful. And I wish you all peace and love as always.